Hello and welcome back. So in this video we will be learning a few things. So let's start off with the first thing, which is how to comment in your HTML and in your CSS. So for example, you can put code in that will not be executed. It won't change the website at all. It's just comments for you to easily navigate to what you're doing. For example, what if you have like a big site with like a lot of different tags and stuff, and for example, we have the header here. So for HTML, it's going to be I forgot what this is called, to be honest, but that, and then exclamation point dash dash, and then comment here. So you could put whatever you want here, and then close it off with dash dash, and then the reverse one. So this is how you comment in HTML. So for example, let's put header section. And you could do the same thing, very similar in CSS. So, and I like to do this in CSS especially because it's very, very helpful, because CSS pages can get extremely long really fast. So for example, I like to do, like, for example, we'll have header here, right? This whole thing is the header section. So I'm going to put slash and then multiplication sign, the pound, I guess. Actually, not pound, but multiplication sign. And we'll do dash dash, for example, header dash dash. You don't have to have the dashes, that's just for me. This is all you actually need, the slash and then the multiplication sign. And I'll do the same thing to close it off, but in reverse order. So this is how you make a comment for CSS. So the way I like to do it is I'll make it just a little bit bigger, easily noticeable. I'll just put a bunch of dashes to line it up. Copy that. And there you go. So below this comment is our header section. And then here we'll have another comment. For example, we'll call it top content. Just like that. So below these comments, we'll put the top content section. It just makes your code a lot easier to navigate and easier to read, and it just makes your life a lot easier. There you go, just like that. So I decided I'm gonna do this section by section, just because it makes the easy videos just kind of easier to follow. I think it makes things a little more clear in my opinion. So below the header, if you remember, we had the content section, the top content. So it had the image, and then it had like the text and the heading and all that stuff. So below the header, we're gonna put section, which is like a section of a website. So back in the day, we used to use divs. In HTML5, we use sections. It's a lot easier. So we use section, and we'll give it an ID of top content, WR for wrapper. And then let's close it off. Alright, so I call this top content, and then the wrapper is it's a big box that spans the entire length that goes around the content. So I'm gonna go to our CSS and do hashtag or # top content wrapper. So open and close. And here we'll put a max width of 1400 pixels, just like the top one right here. We'll match it all up, make it nice. And again, we're going to do margin 0 pixel auto to center it. And we'll give it a border of 1 pixel solid. Let's do red this time. Just going to go ahead and save that and open it in our web browser as soon as I can find it. Alright, here it is. So you see the big red line. If you remember, this box, the red line, will get bigger as you put things inside of it. So let's go back to our page, or sorry, back to our code, and then we're gonna make another box inside of this one. We'll call it, this time it's gonna be a div because it's inside the section. We'll give it an ID of top content. And this box will surround the other two boxes that'll be inside of here. I only do this just for alignment purposes, just to center it easier and to have an easier way to edit this later on in the future when we do the mobile friendly website, and when we shape this website to form to any size, we'll utilize this here. You don't have to do this, but this is how I like to write my HTML. So we have this box here, and let's go into our code, and I'm gonna do a tab because I like to make everything off center, kind of like stack up to make it easier to read. So I'll do for the div, I'll do pound top content, open and close, and I'm just gonna do a width of 100%. That's all we're gonna need here, because it's gonna span 100% of this 1400 pixels, because this is inside of the section, which is this. And let's now make our two boxes. So inside of this top content, we'll make another div, give it an ID of top content image, img for short, and again close it off and make another one. We'll give an ID of top content box, and again close it off. So these will be our two boxes inside of our big box and then our wrapper box. So let's go to our CSS, and I'll do tab, and I'll do tab again because these two boxes are inside of this one, which is inside of this one. So I'm going to do pound, and I'll do top content image, open and close. Let's make one more, top content box, for the two boxes here. So for the image, I'm going to give it a width of 39% of this 1400 pixels, and I'll do margin 0 pixel auto just to center it. Let's give it a border of 1 pixel solid blue, and we'll do padding top of like 100 just for viewing purposes. And we're just gonna go copy paste this whole thing into our box, but we're gonna change the size. We're gonna do this one 60%, and you're gonna want that 1% difference. So because the borders take up pixels, and if you do 100, if you add this up to 100, it'll overlap each other. It won't look good, but we'll fix it on in the future. So we're gonna want, so if you save this and go to your page and reload, you're gonna see they're stacked on top of each other, right? So again, like we did previously for the header, we're gonna want to go ahead and float both of these to the left, so they stick to each other to the left side. So float left, save that. And again, see how this red line, these blue boxes are outside of this red line. If you remember in the last video, we did something called a clear div. It clears the floats. We're going to want to do that again. So we're going to go on a copy and paste it right before the section ends. Right there. Go ahead and save that, and then open and reload, and there you go. So these two blue boxes are inside of this big red box. So let's just go ahead and get rid of this red outline because we no longer need it. And there you go. So that will be all for this tutorial, and next time we're just going to do another section and just keep on going until we're done. So look forward to that. Thank you for watching.